We welcome you inside the Dome at the Blaine Sports Center, the National Sports Center in Blaine. Technical issues not our fault, but sometimes the powers that be have their own issues that sometimes we just have to deal with. Coding issues in particular. 13 minutes approximately remaining in the first half. The Red Knights leading at 1-0. They scored in the 7th minute. They take on Breck. Breck in the white with black numbers. The Red Knights, the number 1 seed in the home Reds. Breck got here knocking off St. Anthony Village 2-1. And Old St. Margaret's defeated Columbia Heights, officially recorded 9-0. It might have been a little generous. As we were saying, Red Knights defeating Columbia Heights, 9-0 the official score, but as we were saying, that might be a little generous. It may have been a few more than that. After all the weather postponements, we are here inside the NSC Dome. It's still cold in here. Certainly be glad you're watching us on the stream rather than here in the Dome. They come down toward about 12 minutes remaining in the first half. There is no scoreboard in here, so this is just announcer Patrick keeping the time. So probably a few seconds discrepancy between what I have on the phone and what is officially being recorded in the official scores. Down in the Red Knight end of the field, the Red Knights able to work it back out as Dietzen clears. Breck sets up in their own end. Grace Polidal as it deflect out of bounds. Red Knights leading 1-0. The ref counting the players. Well, Breck has been playing with 10. Well, the officials stopping play and saying, Breck, you've been playing down a player. Well, that has been corrected. Played ahead by Kaya Bellinger. Now up toward the far side. As Avery Richardson gets to it. He drops it out front as it just deflects wide. After the heavy snow this week forced some postponements and some reshuffling. That's how we ended up here. Some other domes in use around the metro this evening as well. Certainly a little different being right on top of the action versus way up in the press box. Ashton Lowenberg and Georgia Lewin-Mills will get set to check in. We took down toward 9 minutes unofficially to go in the first half. Red Knights leading 1-0. Up toward the midline. See the small crowd lined up almost single file. Draws that far side of the field. And some interesting, I wouldn't call them insights, but we're located between the benches. So you get kind of a better glimpse into some of the in-game strategies. The coaches yelling instructions. Loaded off toward the far side. Knocked away as it's trying to be centered. As Gigi Adia gets it out, and it's dropped in on goal and scooped up. Another centering attempt, and it's headed just wide in front. Now flies up the near side. As Avery Junker got to it first. Approximately 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. As we mentioned when we got on the air, that the unofficial timekeeping, so likely will be several more seconds than I have on my unofficial phone timer. Very high-tech piece of equipment. It's Breck laying from their own end. Is Hannah Pauladal. Lays it across midfield. Lowenberg. Lewin Mills for Breck has it taken away. Kaya Gilliland on the near side. Approximately 8 minutes to go here in the first half. And quite a bit more than what I have recorded, approximately 3 more minutes. Shot blocked in front. Knights, though it's sneaking through as Sydney Dries can't quite get to it first. So Emily Johnson was able to keep that ball away. Red Knights leading 1-0. Approximately 7 minutes to go in the first half. Along the far side. Head toward Annie Gollenvow. Knights hold the zone. No reset at the midline. We have a very evenly played first half. The Knights have the only goal. They lead 1-0. So drive in on goal. It's held on to eventually after the goalkeeper had to knock it down for the Mustangs. Loaded up the right side. Go back in the center. There's Natalie Tennyson for the goalkeeper. Johnson for the Mustangs has it taken away. Wagner for the Red Knights with it. Wagner, her shot blocked. Goes over to Kaya Bollinger. About 4 minutes left in the half. Red Knights leading 1-0. Red Knights the number 1 seed in the section. Breck the 4 seed. Winner of this game takes on the winner of Totino Grayson Blake at a site and probably a time to be determined at this point. Almost able to poke this one through out front to Lauren Hillens. Drive high over the net. About 3 minutes remaining in the first half. 1-0 Red Knights. Lowenberg. Head toward Dries. Lewin Mills for Breck. It's sent high toward the net by Bollinger. Knocked down at the midline. Breck advances it ahead. Lewin Mills able to thread it through for Maggie Mixon, who's cut off in front of the net. A good defensive play by Kristen Doherty. Come down into the final seconds of the first half. We had an injury stoppage. Come back out of the injury stoppage. A little over 2 minutes, to my understanding, left in the half. Bollinger. Red Knights with it on the far side. Free in front of the net, but the Mustangs able to clear it out. As the first half comes to an end, Red Knights score in the 7th minute, and they take a 1-0 lead into halftime. We're going to take a 10-minute break. Not that we've been on the air very long as it is, but that's how the show business works. We'll be back in 10 minutes with your second half. Welcome back for the second half between Brack and Benilde St. Margaret's girls soccer section 5A semifinal. 1-0 Red Knights after the first half. They're inside the NSC Dome in Blaine. It's underway here in the second half. We certainly appreciate the efforts of everybody who was able to get this game moved into the Dome. As I said when we got on the air, the only thing we're being protected from is having a roof over our head. It is cold in here. The Mustangs push it deep into the the Red Knight zone. They drop it back. Breck will have an early throw. The Red Knights with it. Then ahead by Lowenberg. Brought ahead by Ali Voss. It's Mary Zavarel on the near side. Zavarel, one of several stars from the hockey team who moonlight as soccer players in the fall. Zavarel with the throw-in. Dietzen. Off the side of the net. Good toward Dries in the near corner. Dries to Richardson. Approximately 3 minutes into the second half. Let's see if Bryland will set up for the free kick. The goal kick, excuse me. Long pass knocked away. Katie Teason with the throw-in. Mixon dropping it back. Along with cameraman, executive producer, jack of all everything, Pete Wagner, I'm Patrick Lilia from the NSC Dome. Dietzen. It's Richardson. Drops it in front of Dries. Dries will get to it first. Dries able to get around and get a shot off, and Brylan makes a save. Dries again with some nice moves as she gets it through to Richardson, but the offside flag goes up. Approximately 6.5 minutes into the second half. 1-0 the Red Knights leading. Becca Holt throws it in. Red Knights set up. Back toward the midline. Over to Zavarel. Dries. Dries puts it toward the net. The Mustangs come out with it. Great job to step up by Megan Watts. Watts again able to keep the ball in the Mustang end. Sadia drops it back. Up on the far side. And the Red Knights will get a free kick. Centered. Popped high over the net. Dries had a good look at it. Kendall White checks in for the Mustangs. Approximately 10 minutes into the second half, the Red Knights maintaining a 1-0 lead. The free kick will go the way of the Mustangs. Off for Dietzen. Dietzen collides. Stay a Red Knight throw. It's Gollenvo back in for the Red Knights. Dietzen. Working your way around Johnson. It's free in front. Score! The Red Knights up 2-0. I believe that'll be Megan Watts with the goal. That's a big insurance tally. That comes in the 53rd minute. Red Knights lead 2-0. It's centered. The Mustangs in desperate need of a response. They trail 2-0. Free kick for the Red Knights, set up the far side. Polidal. The Red Knights able to clear it out. We tick down toward 25 minutes to go in regulation. Approximately the 15-minute mark of the second half. The Red Knights screaming for a handball that would have resulted in a penalty kick, but they don't get one. Zavarel head toward Dries. Comes back to Dries. Dries working her way through the middle. Still with it. Zavarel on goal. It's dropped, but then able to be picked up by Bryland. It's Mixon tied up by two Red Knights. Back toward the midline. Dries. Zadia flips it along the near side. Knights play it toward midfield. Lewin Mills for Breck. Bryland will boot it away. Nadia in the center of the field. Back to Malia Kuzer. Kuzer, one of the members of the Breck hockey team, which has had some pretty high-level success in recent years. Free kick coming for Breck. We approach the midpoint of the second half. The Red Knights leading 2-0. Deep back in the Breck side of the field, Lewin Mills. As Kendall White tied up, but White able to get it off ahead. Dia. Lewin Mills. They're under the midpoint of the second half, approximately. Toward the far side. Knights control in the Breck half. Driven in on goal. Hot shot, but scooped up by Bryland. Well, that was a long, hard shot. Ate Bryland up a little bit, but he was able to corral it. And we stay 2-0 Red Knights. And for Wagner. Centered. Headed back toward the Breck goal. The Knights looking to work some time a little bit. We approach the 24-minute mark of the second half. They lead it 2-0. Winner takes on the winner of Totino Grace and Blake. Actually, try to find a final for that game. That game was earlier in the evening. It comes loose in front of Bryland, who covers up. Another good job by the Knights. A little bit out of reach of Dries on the back end, excuse me. We do have a final. Blake 2, Totino Grace 1. So the Winner of this game will take on Blake in the section final. We'll be at the higher seed, which, if the Red Knights hold on, they will host Blake. But if Breck comes back, then Blake will host Breck. It'll be Saturday at a time that we will let you know about. Bryland holds on to that loose ball. The Mustangs trying to push it ahead. Voss up on the far side. Toward Dries. Coming toward the goaltender, Bryland, who will reach first. Bollinger. Bollinger back with it. Dangerous pass, nearly intercepted. Maggie Draws and Maggie Mixon both in for Breck. Here as we wind down toward the final approximately 12 minutes. Well, we put a couple more on that from what I have calculated. It's Horacy. Able to center. And just wide. Be a corner opportunity for the Knights. Well, it might be the first one we've had the entire evening. That one again headed just wide. It's Wagner. Puts it in toward the net. And able to be finished off by Voss, and that might do it for this one. It's 3-0 Red Knights with just under 11 minutes remaining in regulation. Well, the Knights leading 3-0. Big free kick here for the Mustangs. They want any glimmer of hope of getting back in this game. Going up with a corner. They go the whole night without a corner, and then we have two just a couple minutes apart here at the later stages of the game. It's headed off the top of the net. We have a corner from the other side. Knocked down in front. There's Johnson trying to gain control for the Mustangs, who can't. Streaking over toward Horace. On the far side. Tennyson scooped it up, sends it high in the air. Approximately 7 minutes left in regulation. The Red Knights leading 3-0. Although probably a couple more minutes than I have on my timer. Likely more closer to 9. Svisen. Wagner. Sends it off toward the far side. Voss. Toward the net, headed down, and then hits the post on the shot. The midline. Down toward Horace, who puts it on net and is picked up by Bryland. Voss. The whistle blows. Horace. Ball is loose after the collision. The save is made by Bryland. Little over 3 minutes left in regulation play. Red Knights leading 3-0. Hillens for the Red Knights. Pass to Dietzen. Free kick for the Mustangs. The Red Knights building the wall. Instructions on how to assemble themselves. Save made on the free kick by Tennyson. The throw skips up the line. As Garvin throws in for the Red Knights. They're in the final couple minutes of the game. Red Knights leading at 3-0. One in the first half, 2 in the second. Red Knights appear to be ticketed for a visit from Blake. Blake, who knocked off number 2 seed Totino Grace earlier in the afternoon. Knocked down in front off the corner. Save made on the hop by Tennyson, and the game is over. The Red Knights win it by a score of 3-0, and they'll take on Blake on Saturday, ideally at Benilde St. Margaret's. And we will have the final confirmation for you as we get into the weekend. Well, for now, for Pete, this has been Patrick. The Red Knights advance to the second.